Recently, a colleague asked me something I thought very thought-provoking. What do you mean when you say that you care for patients that don't read the textbook? And how does that shape your practice? Hi, my name is Dr. Kara Wada. I am a board-certified allergy, immunology, lifestyle, and functional medicine physician. I'm also a certified life coach, and for over 15 years, I have specialized in helping people navigate this often confusing world of allergies, asthma, autoimmunity, and mast cell disorders. And as someone who lives with an autoimmune condition called Sjögren's myself, I understand firsthand what it is like to have a condition that doesn't always neatly fit into the medical textbooks. So today I want to explore what truly going beyond the textbook means in medicine, especially in a field like immunology. So let's talk about when symptoms don't follow the script. We all learn about classic disease presentations in medical school. These are textbook cases, right? This foundational knowledge is crucial. It's critical for us to learn what those conditions look, sound, and feel like. But what happens when a patient's symptoms don't follow that script? Obviously, their suffering, their lived experience is still very real. It's often debilitating. And yet it doesn't hit all those check boxes, right? It doesn't fit into that predefined diagnostic box. And this was frequently the reality during my career at an academic referral center. I worked at an academic medical center as a clinical professor in allergy immunology for almost 8 years. And I really focused my practice on patients with complex and often elusive symptoms. And honestly, it was my journey as an interesting patient that taught me how isolating it feels when your body isn't cooperating with those expected narratives. Now, there's a joke in medicine for any medical professionals, and even some patients, who are savvy have caught on to this, that you do not want to be medically interesting. That is not something that people aim for. And the reality is that when patients feel dismissed by this traditional, often rushed healthcare system, they understandably end up seeking answers elsewhere. And that really can lead folks down a path of costly, sometimes unhelpful, and sometimes frankly harmful non-traditional practices, simply because they're desperate to feel heard, understood, and find relief of their symptoms. So this is really what drove me to found the Immune Confident Institute, to really create a different kind of healthcare experience for those with complex immune system challenges. And in practice, going beyond the textbook, what does that look like? What does that mean? We're thinking about the immune confident approach. First and foremost, it's leading with deep listening. It's fundamental, absolutely fundamental. If you listen to the patient, they will tell you what's going on. If you don't interrupt them within 10 seconds, it's about hearing this patient's complete story, not just checking symptoms off a list. It means validating their lived experiences, understanding nuances of their symptoms, even with and especially when they don't immediately align with a familiar pattern. And it's creating the space for the story to unfold. That's why at a minimum, I meet with patients for 50 minutes, often 110 minutes, so that we really can get that full picture of their lived experience. Next is really being a relentless clinical detective. And this is where curiosity shines. It is one of the core values of the Immune Confident Institute. It requires thorough investigation, critical thinking, and looking beyond those horses. It's thinking about the zebras. It's piecing together the complex puzzle where some puzzle pieces initially seem out of place, and we have to consider all the possibilities. I really love doing this through the lens of my traditional allergy immunology background. I love thinking through things through the framework of functional medicine, thinking about where those biochemical pathways may not be functioning right, and thinking about things both on the microscopic level and from the telescope view. So zooming in and zooming out to really put this whole thing together. And really, that's often what's missing in our traditional insurance-based system, because we just have to see more patients in less time in order to keep the lights on. I think most importantly, and what I have been most excited about in this new practice, is really having the time and space to foster genuine partnership with patients. Sometimes, despite our best efforts, a definitive diagnosis remains elusive in the moment. And these are situations where collaboration on deciding on what is the next best step forward, what are goals for improving quality of life, and how far we want to go in regards to that diagnostic process really requires shared decision making. We acknowledge the journey even when, and especially when the destination isn't perfectly clear. And while recognizing and balancing this inherent power differential between that doctor-patient relationship and doing our best to come together on a more even playing field. Lastly, we really aim to create a sanctuary for care. My ultimate goal is to provide a safe, unhurried, and deeply validating environment, a place where patients who have felt betrayed not only by their bodies, but also by past healthcare experiences are able to receive medically sound care that acknowledges their suffering and empowers them. It's really the art and the science of medicine. And this approach doesn't discard essential medical knowledge, it just enhances it. It recognizes when textbook answers alone cannot address a patient's unique suffering or complex clinical picture. And that's where the art of medicine truly can meet the science. In allergy and immunology, conditions can often be really complicated. They can mimic other diseases or present atypically. Mast cell activation, dysautonomia, seronegative Sjögren's, these conditions demand deeper investigation and understanding. And it's this commitment to looking deeper, to listening intently, and partnering authentically that ensures that individuals whose bodies didn't read the textbook finally have a place where they can feel seen, understood, and empowered in their healthcare journey. Navigating complex health can be really daunting, can be an odyssey, and you don't have to do it alone. If you connect with this approach and you live in any of the states listed that I am licensed in, I'd be honored to work with you. I offer telehealth appointments through my practice, the Immune Confident Institute, where we can deeply explore your unique immune story. If you're not in one of these states, you can check out my medical mentorship program, which are non-medical appointments where we can partner together in another way. And if you'd like me to get licensed in your state, please click the link to join my practice waitlist, and this will help me know where to prioritize the expansion of our services. Speaking of community and support, I am thrilled to announce that the virtual Sjögren Summit is returning for its 4th year. This year's theme is Building Your Sjögren's Network. We're focusing on assembling your healthcare team, fostering strong social support, and strengthening our incredible community. It's a wonderful opportunity to learn, to connect, and to feel empowered on your Sjögren's journey. Click the link in the description to join the waitlist and be the first to know when registration opens. You'll find all the links for my practice, mentorship program, the waitlist, all those things below. But for ongoing support and connection, please consider joining our free Facebook groups, the Becoming Immune Confident community, and the Success with Sjögren Sisterhood. Sisterhood is the vibe. Everyone's welcome. I'm curious to hear from my fellow clinicians. How do you interpret going beyond the textbook in your practice? And for patients, what has it meant to finally find someone on your team who truly listened and looked deeper? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's learn from one another. And as always, please subscribe for more content aimed at empowering you on your immune health journey. Until next time, take care.